Brady here with a Random Woodworker. Today we're going to build a, well, I don't call it too simple because it's going to be a tiny little project. The wife's going to build it and I'm going to coach her on what to do, how to do it, when to do it, all that good stuff, because I am a cripple. I can't help it, I'm a cripple. So she's going to be building everything. I'm just going to coach her on it. So let's get going. Okay, this is what we're going to be building. The size of this is around 4 inches wide by about 5.5 inches long. So it's a tiny little project. And the wife's going to build it. I'm going to instruct her on how to do it, okay? Okay, I'm starting off with a 3/8 by 6 inch by 3 foot piece of clear pine. I bought it at the hardware store. I'm going to go ahead and put the lines on probably about this much. I'm going to put about every ½ inch put lines here, because the purpose of that is, if you look at the picture here, see the lines in the back? They're going down like so. I'll be putting those lines in. Well, I don't be putting those lines in it. So let's get started with setting it up, measuring, and then we take the router and we're going to go across and put lines probably about this far, about every ½ inch. Okay, first step, make sure that tip is not touching the wood. Back it off a little. You keep this router against this surface at all times. Okay, get it where it doesn't rock. Now get your fingers out. Make sure your fingers are not around here. Okay, good. From that point, turn it on. Come across about here, and then go back and forth a couple times to clean it up. Okay, we're going to do this across the board, and then on that part we're done. Okay, well, the lines are put in it. Okay, I don't know if you can see how well you can see it, but see all the lines going about a ½ inch apart. Can you see? Okay, next step. All right, next thing we're going to do, we got the lines in here. If you notice, this is the back of this. It's probably about equal, which is going to be tiny. So I'm guessing probably, let's go 5 inches long. And it's probably a little, maybe 5¼ inches wide. So we're going to cross cut this at about 5 inches. Then we're going to take out the table saw and we're going to rip it to about 5¼ inches. Okay, Ma, so that's what you're going to be doing next.
Okay.
Okay, next thing we do is we're going to rip it down. The strips you saw me cut out, I'm going to go ahead and plane it down to 1/4 inch in height. Right now it's 3/8, so I'm going to plane them down to 1/4 inch. Alright, that should be about the right thickness. Now I'm going to turn them and feed them this direction, 2 and 2. So I'm going to go ahead and plane them on. See all the saw marks? So I'm going to send them through this way now. All right, next step. This is a 1/8 inch dowel. I'm going to go ahead, I rounded the tip and sanded it a little bit. I'm going to cut off probably 1/8 inch over this. This is going to be the knobs for that miniature, I guess you call it miniature hutch. Okay, let's go. Okay. Next would be, we're going to have to cut one of these to go across here. Then I need a thicker one to go across here, because if you notice, this is like a tabletop right there, so that's got to come out even further. So we'll go ahead and cut this piece next. So, okay, Anna's got most of the pieces cut out, if you noticed. From here, I'm going to glue some of this together. I can't glue it all at once because it's too tedious. It'll just really be a drag. So I'm going to go ahead and take these parts off like so. And the parts I'll be gluing, I'm Probably just this section right here. Okay, I took it apart. I'm going to go ahead and sand this. All the pieces that I'm going to glue together, I'm going to sand it. So let's get started on that. Okay, next thing is I'm going to glue only this one rail for now because it's too tiny. Everything will move on me. So I'm going to glue this, let it set up. Then we'll come back and get all the rest of it. All right, I'll put little dots on this. That's why I'm using this tip here. You can put little teeny dots across this. Now put it right in the middle. The reason I'm doing this, I don't want this glue to squirt out because if it does, it's going to be hard to get removed, and then when I go to stain it, it's not going to stain because of the glue. Okay, so that's probably all I need. So at that point, I'm going to go ahead and stick it on the back. Okay, we got this one part glued on. Mom did that yesterday, and this is not glued yet. If you notice, it's just all put together. Okay, and so what I did, Anna took this over and she sanded on the belt sander a little bit, and we took a 150 and we finished sanding all this. Now, if you noticed, this is the only part that's glued on is right here. Now, the next part I'm going to do, move these aside like so. Don't even need this. I'm going to be gluing this piece on here at a 90 degree. Make sure that it's a 90 degree. I'm going to have Anna glue this on. We're going to let it sit for about an hour. Then we're going to come back and put the rest together. So, okay, now we got it. From this point, we put that 90 degree on here. We're going to set this down like so. Make sure it's flat. Bottom here is level. Push down. All right, we're going to let that sit for a couple hours and we'll come back and put the rest together. Okay, as you can see, I made two spacers here. They're both exact same length. So to put this down to glue it, it's going to be parallel to this piece. So let's go ahead and put some glue on here. Okay, now you got to be real careful because I'll put a little in the end here. I don't want those two little sticks to move, so I got to be real careful when I'm putting it up. Okay, now I'm pushing that way and that way. And now I'm pushing down a little bit, put some pressure on it. Now I'm going to put pressure, I'm going to pull these out of here. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for about maybe 15, then I'm going to go ahead and do it with the next two shelves. All right, all these pieces have been glued on over a period of about 4 hours today. I put the first one on, let it dry an hour, put the second, let it dry an hour, so on and so forth. The purpose is this stuff will not shift now. See, I can move it, it doesn't shift. So when I put the last piece on, everything will be nice and accurate and tight. Now, Anna had glued this on yesterday. I forgot to mention it, but she glued this on for stability, so it can stand up better, because this is way too, see if that will not stand very good that way. So we glued this piece on. All right, now last on this part of the gluing is putting this on. Now I'm going to take it inside and let this sit overnight. Then I got to add some rails in here and a top on this part. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this. I'm also going to put a attach of glue on each one of these ends here, just for a little extra security. Set it up. Okay, I'm going to push down and I'm going to push in. That's it. From there, I'm going to take it in the house and let it sit overnight. Okay, Mom, there we got this done. Anna took this over and sanded on the bench top sander. She sanded the sides, the top, everything's all sanded now. So this is hard. It's all set up here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to build a little, I don't know what you'd call it, but I'm going to measure across just my eyeball. I want about an inch, so inch and a half here, inch and a half here, because this will go down the sides. So we'll go ahead and, I'm just guessing roughly, so from there we'll cut that off. Okay, she got this cut. I guess I can call this crown molding. It's going to go up here and around the sides, but we're going to put a probably a 90-degree sand job on this, so when it wrap it, it all matches. So let's take this over to the sander. Okay, sanded it. Now what I'm going to do is cut this off and this off. These are going to go around the side here. All right, let's go get that done. Okay, we got it cut and tapered. This one side I got glued. It's pretty fragile right yet, but notice I'll put it up like so. When this dries, then I'm going to glue this piece on. Then we're going to go ahead and sand this down. Okay, the decorative piece you just saw, I'm letting that dry. So I'm going to go ahead. See this? I can go ahead and mess with this. So I'm going to go ahead and mark right here like I already did. I'm going to cut this. Then I'm going to put a saw mark across here. I'm going to put two little teeny knobs, and they'll look like drawers. Okay, this is not glued yet, so I'm going to glue this, and I'm going to glue the handles on. Then we got our little drawer set up. Okay, as you can see, I glued the drawers in, and these earlier I had cut these little knobs out and glued those on. So this is all set. Next step is to, if you noticed here, I glued this together. Real sensitive because this is not a very strong glue because you're butting it. It's not that strong, but I glued it on. It was good enough to go ahead and sand the edges, get it all rounded and really nice. So from now, I'm going to go ahead and set it here. A little wax paper. So what I'm going to do with that is put the wax paper here. Then I'm going to glue this piece on, like so. I'm going to glue that on. This way I can get it real tight. When it sets up, then it'll slide off because of this. So then I can go ahead and sand this edge like this one. So I'm going to go ahead and do that next. Okay, I got it glued up. I used the clamp to hold this piece here, to hold it tight, because I can't hold it and do this too. So that's what the clamp's for. Now I took the little piece and I glued it onto there. If you notice, now I got the wax paper underneath it. So when this dries, I can slide this whole thing off and sand this like I did the other side. Then when I'm done, I'll slide it back on and glue it. Okay, we got this done. I already shaped both the corners. All right, from here we're going to slide on, it nice slides on. From that point, I got a block under here and I clamp this so this will not move. Then I put blocks that hold this clamp up. So when I just barely tighten it, all the glue will stay nice. It'll stay tight until it dries. So from here, we're going to go ahead and put the glue on. And I'm going to see if it looks level across here. Looks pretty good. And now I'm going to push down on this. And I'm going to go ahead and put this up and just clamp this. Okay, let that sit overnight. From there we're going to do 3 or 4 or 5 coats of tung oil. Okay, we got her all done. If you notice, it's all sanded and ready to go. So Anna's going to go ahead and put the high gloss tung oil on it. We're going to put rub the coat in, the whole thing, let it sit for about an hour, hour and a half, come back, do it again. We're going to do it about 6, 7 times to get a shiny coat on it. Okay, Mom? You ready, Ma? Yeah?
Ready.
Okay, go ahead. All right, got her done, so check it out. It's got about 5 coats on it. It's got a little bit of a shine to it, and that's all I want. Like I said, if you want more shine, then put more coats on it. All right, this is completed. All right, guys, that completes the project. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. I do appreciate that. And click on the bell next to the subscribe button and turn on all video alerts for my channel. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.